Hi, everyone, and welcome to Koii's first ever community call. I'm Anna. Some of you may recognize me from Discord and Telegram. I'm the community manager and PR lead here at Koii. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out today. It means a lot to us, and we really appreciate it. I recognize some of your guys' names from the community, and it's great to see you here. Before we get started, I'm just going to go over some ways you can earn Koii on this call. The first way is to tweet that you're here with your wallet address and tag Koii. The second way is to post a screenshot of this call as an NFT using Finnie and then tweet it and tag us. You're also going to want to ask some questions, so keep your notes ready and hand up because there's going to be a 25 Koii reward for one relevant question of the evening. I'm going to pass it over to Al to get started.
Hey, folks. Sorry, we're a little new to this crowdcast thing. Abel, you've got to mute your microphone, man.
Yes.
Sorry, so we've got the whole team here for you guys. We really wanted to be here just to answer any of your questions, to help kind of get you involved in the community. This is a really interesting tipping point for us because we've just reached this point now where we finally have this technology built. I personally have been working on this project for almost 5 years. It's a personal passion project of mine. I have worked on Ethereum projects, Hyperledger projects, just about everything in the space because I really wanted to build something that could be truly decentralized, to build that kind of decentralized internet that everybody wanted. What do we need to tweet? Okay, quick answer one more time. On this call, if you tweet out that you are here with your name and your wallet address, we will give you some Koii. If you post an NFT on Koii.rocks of a screenshot of this call, you can get 5 Koii. You have to tweet that as well. Finally, keep notes, ask questions, because at the end of this call, we'll have a question period. I'm going to present, Kayla's going to give you guys a demo of the Finnie wallet, and then Colin's going to go over tokenomics quickly, and then we'll do an open question period where myself, Abel, our head of engineering, and the rest of the team will be here to answer any questions that you have. So before we get into that, though, I'd like to quickly talk about this USB drive that's on the screen right now. You guys may not have seen this. It was a story on Cointelegraph earlier this week. We actually made the front page of Cointelegraph, which is really exciting. This thumb drive is now in a museum in London, and it contains on it a Koii node. This Koii node has an entire archive of the Apple Daily, which is a pro-democracy newspaper in Hong Kong that was recently shut down by the Chinese government. And the reason that we created this was to preserve the information from the Apple Daily because they are now being taken down by the government in China because they pissed off some government officials and they kind of got into a bit of a row there. And so we have intentionally created this thumb drive with a Koii node on it so that it can preserve that information and make sure that even if every Arweave network node in the world goes down, this node can still preserve all that and it can be plugged into any computer and start replicating the information again through our network. In addition to that, we also put some like CIA hacker tools on here. So, you know, if you ever have a totalitarian government, break glass, take thumb drive, connect to computer, and you're good to go. But that's kind of a funny example. It's just one example of how this stuff works. Really, our goal with this is to build things that are a lot more, a lot more fun, right? It's not all about trying to save the world or something like that. The Finnie wallet is supposed to be the most fun thing you can do on the internet. So really what it lets you do is it lets you publish across multiple blockchains, publish your own content, store it as an NFT, anything you want. Really, we intend for Finnie to become your companion to decentralization. So while it's just a browser extension at the moment, it will soon be also a mobile app, as well as a number of other products that are going to make it even easier for you to access these kinds of decentralized networks that are just starting to pop up. Also, Koii.rocks, I'm sure lots of you are familiar. It's our NFT portal. It lets you create any piece of content, store it, register it, and then begin earning attention rewards. So that's, it's a great way to start earning some Koii tokens. We are expecting to give out 50% of the full network to you guys as users. So within 3 years, this network will be owned by 50% by the users. Within 5 years, we expect it'll be like 75 to 80% owned by users. And within 10 years, we really want you guys to take this away. So the purpose of this meeting is to start bringing you into the fold so that you can become leaders within this community. Finally, the other thing on here is StoreCat. This is actually where we originally started out. So StoreCat is a technology that lets us use Koii nodes to go and scrape the internet in the same way that Google does. So we can create a map of the internet so we know where all of this content is all the time, and we can create decentralized search eventually. So we're working towards that. We will post a set of these slides after this, and you'll be able to click these demo buttons down here. So please go ahead, try them out. And by the way, Kayla is also going to give you a demo of the Finnie wallet shortly, so a bit more information there. So really what I want to drive home here is we are a community. We've got developers, we've got the content publishers, and we've got kind of the glue, all the other people that are kind of there to make this community stick together. And we are hopefully the internet, eventually. There's not a lot of people on the internet who couldn't benefit from more open standards for this stuff, from having more control over their content, from earning more fairly for what they deserve. The big guys that started the internet like 30 years ago, they're not all that honest, and a lot of the time they kind of take advantage of their positions. So we're really here to try and figure out what it is that you guys need from us to build the right technologies so that we can build the internet that everybody wants and deserves, instead of kind of the profiteering stuff that's going on at the moment. So what can you do to help? Well, number one, share Koii with a friend. Try and convince one friend a week. Try and explain this concept of decentralization. I've been doing this myself for the last 5 years, teaching weteachblockchain.org. And, it's a hard thing to do. People don't understand why centralization is bad. And it comes down to having conversations one-on-one. And if you can't have conversations one-on-one, try to retweet some of our posts. Try to share it out on your social media. Just follow us on social media so you can stay informed and start to learn kind of how we're explaining this stuff, because people don't always see it right away. In addition to that, also publish some content, earn some Koii tokens, right? Because then you have voting power in our network. Every time that we make a decision as a network, we're going to have what's called a governance event. And these governance events mean that if you have Koii tokens, you will be allowed to vote on the future of the network. And you can't participate unless you've earned Koii tokens, and the ones in the faucet don't count. So take the ones from the faucet, register content with them, and then you'll be able to actually vote on the future of this network. If you post something that goes viral, you could earn hundreds or even thousands of tokens, and suddenly you're actually a stakeholder in our network, and you might end up owning as much as the core team did quite quickly. The final thing here is, of course, help us build. So we have a pretty substantial grants pool at the moment. We also have a lot of really talented people in our community who are developers who are really interested in looking for things to build. So, even if you're not a developer yourself, you have a good idea, bring the idea to the table, tell us on calls like this, tell us in the Discord, and we'll help you make that a reality, because we're in this to change the way that the internet operates. So if you have an idea, this is the place to talk about it. During the question period later on too, feel free to even just pitch an idea to the panel, and we'll try and help you kind of figure out how to make it work better. So on that note, I don't have a lot more to add here. I'm going to hand this back off to Kayla now to tell you a little bit about the Finnie wallet, which is our upcoming tool that you can use to publish your NFTs. And she'll give you a demo on how to kind of set everything up. So here you go. Thanks, Kayla.
Thanks, Al. Hi, everyone. I want to reiterate that we are so glad that you are all here today. And we're really excited that you're here. As Al said, we are our community. Without you, we don't have anything. So I am going to show you a really quick demo, not that quick, a quick demo of the Finnie wallet. We're really excited about it. It's brand new. So let me share my screen. Okay. Al, can you stop? Thank you. Okay, share screen. So I will say that pretty soon we are going to have a browser extension in the Chrome store. So this first part is only for the next few days, but it will get much easier very soon. So I'm going to go to koii.network/finnie.zip, and it's going to download the Finnie file. See how fast that was? It's only 4 megabytes. And then I'm going to unzip my Finnie file so that when I go to my Chrome extension manager, which you can either do by coming down here and manage extensions, or you can just go to Chrome://extensions. You want to make sure that your developer mode is on in this top right corner. And then we're going to click Load Unpacked. So we are going to go to Finnie here, and it's just going to load. Pretty soon, like later today, I think we are going to have a blog post out about how to do this. It's very easy to follow. Also, we will post the recorded video from this session as well. And as I said, in the next couple of days, we're going to have it on the Chrome store. So it'll be super, super easy moving forward. So now I'm just going to pin my Finnie to my browser bar, and we're going to go through it. And it's pretty cool and pretty fun. So the first thing, it functions in two ways. There's a wallet and there's also an NFT gallery. So if you have an Arweave wallet, you can import it with a seed phrase. So let's say you already use RConnect or another extension. You can import that same wallet right here in this top option. You can also upload a JSON file. So that's what I'm going to be doing because I got my Arweave wallet from the Arweave faucet. Or you can create a new wallet from scratch, and this will give you a seed phrase as well. So I'm going to click on this one, and then let me grab my wallet. I'm going to just drop it right on there. I'm going to make a password. Agree with the terms of service. And then I just want to remind everybody that especially if you're new to the space, your wallet, either your key file or your seed phrase, super important. Don't ever share that with anyone because anyone who has that can move assets from your wallet so they can take all of your stuff. So now I wanted to show you that this works a lot like MetaMask. If you have a MetaMask wallet already, it's going to be super familiar. And pretty soon we are going to be building a bridge to MetaMask, to the Ethereum chain, and we have a few others on our list that are coming soon. So you'll be able to hold multiple wallets from multiple chains, which is pretty cool. You can send tokens. I only have Koii and R in my wallet, so that's what I get for my dropdown. You can copy your wallet address. You can view your block explorer, all of that good stuff. Now, the really exciting part is if you click My NFT Gallery, you will see your NFT gallery. It's going to take a second to load. But if you see here, these are all the NFTs that I've posted. So here I am a rat mom. I have two really, really cute pet rats. Astrid is the but as you see, I post a lot about them. But I'm going to take you through and show you how to make a new NFT super easy. So what we're going to do, you can either click this button down here at the bottom, or you can click this on the sidebar over here. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag and drop my file right on here. It's a cute picture of Ophelia cleaning her tail. I love her very much. I think it's really cute. So we just type in our title. You can create a username. It can be whatever you want. And pretty soon, the newer version of this is actually going to save that username for you. So you only have to type it in the first time. And we're going to create a what we're calling a Koii identity. It's a decentralized identity that you can use to connect to any other decentralized app. And then a quick description. Celia is making sure she's nice and tidy. And then any tags that you want, type those into. Awesome. I'm going to create my NFT. It's going to tell me about how much it's going to cost. If this was my first NFT, I would be able to submit a referral code so that I could upload this for free, so it wouldn't cost me any Koii. I've already uploaded a few, as you can see. So I'm just going to confirm the registration, and it might take a minute because we're interacting with the blockchain. We are working on speeding this up to make it as fast as possible. So that will be coming soon. But at the moment, we are just going to wait for a sec. And also, so other things that we're working on that I'm going to tell you about while we're waiting for this to upload. We're creating a collection function so you can gather any all your NFTs if you want. Like I could make a collection of Astrid and Ophelia, my pet rats. And then that collection will become an NFT of sorts on its own. So that collection will receive rewards, as will all of the users, or not the users, all of the NFTs, excuse me, in your collection anytime somebody looks at it. So it looks like we've gone, it's been processed. So now I can share this NFT. So I can either copy this link or I can embed it with this link into, like, I have a personal portfolio website because I'm a designer, and I could pop it on that website. So anytime anybody goes to my website to look at it, they would see Ophelia, and they would also be giving me rewards for looking at my content. So I can click on my Twitter, and I can share a tweet right from here. It's super easy, all that good stuff. I'm not going to tweet right now because y'all would get sick of me real fast. And then we can either register more content or we can go look at my gallery. But the really cool thing is we are going to be able to look at this on Koii.rocks. So if I click this Koii.rocks button, we will see in a moment. So it's already up here. And that's really cool. It's going to start earning rewards. It's going to go to the leaderboard. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on, not yet. So it's coming on the leaderboard. But we can also, can I go back? Oh, we're just going to do this again. We can check the explore block. So this is the Arweave transaction. I'm going to go into this very briefly. If you have questions, please ask Abel. He's our head of technology, and we'll be introducing him a little bit later to answer any technical questions. But you can see, like, I'll click on this link here, and you can see that the image itself is actually inside this contract. And like, as well as like my wallet, my name, all of that stuff. So let's go back, I think. And the other thing, as I was mentioning earlier, we are going to be allowing you to transfer these to other chains. So if you want to use this and take it to Ethereum so you can sell it on OpenSea or Rarible, you'll be able to do that fairly soon. We're working on it, and we're working as fast as we can. So I think that's all that I have. So I'm going to transfer the mic off to Colin, and he's going to tell you a little bit about our tokenomics and get into that cool stuff. So let's present, and then I will turn off my microphone. Take it away, Colin.
Thanks so much, Kayla. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay, but let me know if not. And so what I'm going to be talking with you guys today is just a little bit about the tokenomics and the underlying structure. So I came on, I have a background largely from the legal side and the business side. And I'm coming on Koii as kind of an all hands on deck person. So you'll see me active in the chat and in the Discord as well. So let's talk about tokenomics. The cycle here and the Koii sort of marketplace is really a cycle. And so it starts with, for your content, for things that you've registered, for example, on Koii.rocks or through the Finnie wallet, every day 1 million new Koii tokens will be minted. And the only way to get access, these are the only Koii tokens that are newly generated and added to the supply. The only way to mine these tokens or to acquire these tokens is to upload content that people look at and register that content. And so what happens is that you get some Koii tokens for your images, and you can use those tokens to create tasks that you need. Let's say you're a developer and you want to deploy an application, and so you need to use the Koii network, the network of nodes, as your backend. Or perhaps you are trying to archive a site and you want to use the Koii network to help archive a web page, kind of similar to what we did with the Cointelegraph project with Kevin Abosch, archiving the Apple Daily. And so you can lock some tokens into a bounty. Similarly, if you're running a node, which is just a lightweight interface on your computer that helps dedicate a small piece of computing power to the network. Your node will help run those tasks for people who place those bounties, and you get a share of those bounties when you participate. So the more powerful, the more people join the network, the more people run nodes, the more people are earning Koii, and the more powerful the network itself. You can stake your Koii in a node and help power that underlying network, and essentially, whenever you want to then go back to the beginning and you want to go upload a new piece of content, or perhaps you're using one of these applications that people have deployed on the network, you burn a little bit of your Koii to register your network, and at no point are you giving up ownership of your content. And that's exactly how we get back to the beginning. The content that you register then becomes the content that is earning you Koii in this sort of in this virtuous cycle. And so you can see how this creates like an incentive for people to post content that is high quality, because that is the content that's going to like continue earning these rewards. So let's talk about the next few years now. The breakdown for our token after generation essentially is that we want gradually over time to have the network be owned by the community, the people like you guys who are in here now, and people who are going to be developing on the application. And so on generation, we've broken it down. So if you see on the pie chart on the left, the warm colors represent our investment and the public's offering of tokens, these early investors who believe in the project, and that represents sort of their chunk on launch. The light blue on the bottom right of the pie chart represents all of the support, the founders, the volunteers, the consultants, all of the staff, the people that have come onto the project and really built it up from nothing to where we are today. And that's sort of their chunk. And the dark blue, the massive chunk, that is 100% dedicated to growing the network. Projects like marketing projects, like dropping tokens for people who are coming on board. Projects like getting developers onboarded and giving them Koii to sort of get their vision for a decentralized application, or perhaps even partnering with artists and commissioning them and getting them some Koii to sort of start uploading and minting their work into collections and various things. So as you can see, we've dedicated a pretty significant chunk of the ecosystem up front to reinvesting in the ecosystem. And you can see over the 4-year distribution chart on the right, we have those top two columns, the newly minted tokens and the network development tokens, that gradually take up larger and larger and larger size of the total supply. Whereas the investors and other people, as they sort of sell off their tokens and go down, that percentage shrinks. And so we really quickly reach, about 50% of this network being owned by the community, and even faster depending on how successful the partnerships are. And so all of this is just to sort of say that the economics here are really about incentives. It's about connecting people who are trying to create stuff, people who are trying to build stuff, with consumers and users who want really high quality content. And so when you reward attention and views on this sort of daily basis, we get that virtuous cycle. People will try to create stuff that people actually find valuable and want to view. And then you view the stuff that is built for you. Whenever somebody is a developer and launches an app that's really popular, people flock there. And likewise, then the developers want to come to the network where the users expect high quality, and it's this virtuous cycle. One thing to mention is that the token numbers right now in Koii.rocks and in the Finnie wallet right now, these are all test net tokens, which means that this is pre-generation of the actual Arweave token for Koii. And we are looking right now at sort of, if you're getting like 5 Koii from the wallet, on token generation, that's something that might actually, we're going to convert that to like 5,000 Koii. And it just essentially, if we're building a network that's going to be serving, 1 billion people, we'd like it to have everybody be able to have like a full Koii rather than fractional shares of Koii to do every little task. And so that's just a decision, an incentive decision that we're going to make. But you can rest assured that every the scaling that's going to apply to the network as a whole in terms of token numbers, whether it's like a thousand times that size, you're going to see that same scaling apply to your testnet tokens. And that's a commitment that we're making to you guys. Okay. And so I think that's me. And I think after this, I'm passing it off to question period, but Al and Anna are going to hop back in and take over now.
There we go. Sorry, my mic wasn't working so well. Yeah, the whole team can turn their mics on now if they want. We can basically start answering any questions from the community. I know I saw a lot already popping up in the chat. Happy to take more. If you guys want to jump in too, you can raise your hand and we'll just give you the floor to ask your question on video if you'd like. Quick reminder that whoever asks, well, anybody who asks a relevant question will be in the running for a 25 Koii prize. So maybe some free cash for you if you have good questions at this point. If not, too, we can just kind of go into more information about atomic NFTs and how all this stuff works under the hood. But you know, happy to chat now too.
And if you're comfortable going on screen, just put in the chat now, and I can give you the floor to ask your question.
Looks like our brand ambassadors are too good at answering questions.
We do have a couple of questions in the question box. One is, what does Koii see as a key differentiator against other NFT platforms, particularly with respect to musicians and creators?
Cool.
So I guess I can take that one.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we are doing for the creators, musicians, this is a really big one, especially because often on platforms like Spotify or other similar streaming services, you get like fractions of a penny, like very, very small fractions for each stream that you get. Whereas if you post on Koii, every time somebody clicks, every time somebody listens, you will get rewarded for that. And it's proportionate to all of the traffic in the network. So especially when you're coming on early, you're going to get a lot of Koii that like other streaming services, like they don't care that much about you. They don't want to pay you that much. And one of the other things that we're working on is that like I'm head of product, but I have a not quite an art background, but a creative background. I used to be in theater. So I know what it's like to work really hard, put your heart into something and not get paid at all for it. So we are working with the community. We'd love to have your input about what you would like from a platform, because we are creators first. We want you to know that you are valuable to us and that we are building this platform for you. And anything that you need, like we have open ears, please send us an email, put it in our Discord, tweet at us about it. We want to hear from you.
I have to second that as well. One other thing that is fantastic about our NFT platform is that it's really low cost. So if you were to manually mint an NFT on Ethereum, it'll often cost between $5 and $10 US. On Koii, it's usually less than a tenth of a penny, which is spectacular. Not to cut you off, Kayla, but I wanted to jump in here because I saw one other question in here about our code audits. So we did recently enlist QuantStamp, which is a pretty high-end Ethereum code audit team, and they'll be auditing all of our contracts. And we're actually looking at getting a second auditor as well to go through the rest of them. This is a slightly longer process than it would be if we were just writing, say an Ethereum NFT marketplace, because we've built an entire ecosystem here. So we've got about 15 different projects and contracts and a whole bunch of different code that needs to be audited, but we'll be having all that done before we get to the public sale, which will be probably early September at this point. I suppose we can just keep going through a few of these questions. There's a question here about censorship and kind of how to prevent slanderous or libelous material, or libellous. I don't know how to say that word. The trick with any of this stuff is that just having something published permanently doesn't mean it can be discovered. And so what we're hoping to do with Koii is to create the ability for people to some extent, to prevent bad information from being shared too much. So what that means is you can publish it onto the blockchain, you can get it into a network like this, but just because it's in that network doesn't mean that it will be shown on portals that run on top of Koii. And so if you publish something, for example, to Koii.rocks that is, not great content or has some kind of a NSFW component to it, we will just block it from Koii.rocks. It doesn't mean that we're taking it down from Arweave. We can't do that because we don't control your keys, but we can just prevent it from being shown on the portal that we control. And so this is how we hope to have this grow over time, is as the network continues to grow, we hope that the portals that run on top of the network will be conscientious of these things and prevent this kind of slanderous information to be shared there. And typically the audiences tend to choose platforms that are more reliable and have a better reputation from that standpoint. So we think that's kind of up to you as a community to favor content portals which kind of fall in line with your values, if that makes sense. Colin's got his mic off or on, so I assume he has something to add here. Colin, any thoughts?
Yeah, since we're just having a chat, I think it's also worthwhile to mention that it's a pretty important principle for us that this is something that is built with the community. So one of the things that we talked about is using a hybrid reputation and blacklisting system, where perhaps like nudity or like lewd content would be tagged as such and added to like an NSFW list or something like that. And that's like a list that you can opt in to be able to see if that's something that you want to see. And likewise, when something is content that's like infringing or content that's perhaps even harmful in a different way, we can govern individual inclusion and exclusion criteria for those specific blacklists based on like a community that they may affect, right? And so this is something that we're looking to build with lots of consultation. And as the DAO grows, as the network grows, these sort of decisions about whether a piece of content is infringing or whether a piece of content is libelous or slanderous to a certain community or something like that, these are decisions that we hope are also going to be made in a decentralized way.
Colin, I just noticed a follow-up question there. Can you comment on how that applies to copyright, specifically for music?
Sure. So one of the things that we've seen a lot with people is a concern from artists about NFTs, either somebody tokenizing content that doesn't belong to them, or somebody who is claiming something that's theirs is not. With Arweave, it offers us one benefit, which is we're sort of getting with any blockchain technology, you get a timestamp of when somebody claims that it belongs to them. And so we are going to implement a reporting mechanism. And in fact, we have a very like grassroots version of this already up and running right now, where we would take in a claim from somebody who proposes that they have a copyright or an intellectual property claim to a token or to a piece of content. And then what we'll do is we just do a review of that claim of copyright against the creator, the person, or rather the person who minted the content. And what happens is this is the same thing that you do if you were to email like a law firm and you were to say, this person's infringing on me. You can use tools that are available to everybody, like the Wayback Machine and different things like that, ask for timestamps and whatnot, and sort of make a determination about who actually generated the content first. And that's sort of like how we're going to handle the copyright sort of moderation part. And again, we're not looking to censor the content. We're not looking to destroy it forever, but rather it would be added again to like a blacklist called, potentially infringing content, things like that. And if you are somebody who's concerned about that in the community, you can, or perhaps like by default through the Finnie wallet and the nodes, like those blacklists can be either opt in or opt out, right? So if we get it wrong and it says something that requires review, it's easy enough for us to go back and deal with an appeal or deal with something else where the community can actually and rework it if we get it wrong.
I see another question in here around partnerships and listing times. So I mentioned in my last kind of statement there that in early September, we'll have our token listed on a couple of exchanges. At the moment, it's looking like CoinList, Bitmart, and Gate, but we'll confirm those in a couple of weeks. Another question on here has to do with kind of partnerships and where we're going on that front. So one of the main things we're trying to do at the moment is a lot of these cross-chain bridges require us to actually partner with the organizations who run those bridges. So you can stay tuned for a lot of those coming out, as well as on the other side of it, tracking reputation within the network has become something we're very interested in now. So we're actually looking at doing a partnership with Leyline, for example, that will allow you to volunteer, do things like give blood or help out at a homeless shelter or something where you're doing something in your personal time that's benefiting the world to earn points for your reputation on Koii. So we really want to make this an integrated network that works with a lot of different systems out there. So if you think there's someone we should be working with, please send them our way or send us their way, either way. Or just drop a message into the chat right now. We'll be happy to help. And yeah, my shirt does have camels on it. It's a favorite shirt of mine. I need one with Koii though, so maybe we'll have to order some Koii shirts in the near future.
Don't worry, I have already asked him why he's wearing a camel shirt and not a Koii shirt. We've covered that one internally already.
It's very off-brand. They're actually upside down Koii.
I think another really good question in here as well is, where did you get the idea for Koii? So Al, if you want to walk us through that and how you came up with this and the whole journey of Koii, I think that would be really valuable.
Sure. Well, the first thing I'll say is where Koii is now is not just my idea. So what you're seeing, this more recent version of the technology, is really the product of spending the last 8 to 12 months working intensively with a number of people on this team, as well as a lot of our advisors and people from around the world. And so we took something originally, which was, kind of the store cap prototype. Kayla and I were working on this about 1.5 years ago now. And we built this for a client of ours, actually, that was looking to do some kind of analysis of online data and wanted to do it in a decentralized way. And as we were developing this technology and looking at it more, we started to understand that it could actually be a lot bigger than that. I've personally been working in blockchain since about 2016. And one of the main reasons I got involved in the first place was to make the internet more accountable. Things like decentralized autonomous organizations provide a huge amount of value as far as keeping the internet unbiased and providing access to information. And the trick that we ran into was that if you look at Ethereum, if you look at Tezos, Avalanche, all these networks, very few of them have a transaction throughput which can ever come anywhere near what is required to have something like Facebook or Google be decentralized. And they're never designed for it. Everybody's been focused on currency and transaction throughput for currency's sake, but they didn't really look at it from the storage component angle. And so what we did was we looked at the storage network, Arweave, and Filecoin and others, and how we can use that and leverage that technology in a more scalable fashion. And so that's kind of how we got to Koii. And now what we've realized is, as we've gone down this path, as the rest of the team has come to join us, we've noticed that there's actually just hundreds of other applications that we never even thought of. Because now that we're looking at this from this different perspective, it's become possible to accomplish things that blockchain has never been capable of. And so we're still very early on this journey, actually. As far as where we see Koii in like 5 years, it could quite honestly be the dominant publishing framework of the internet. WordPress went from, I think, about 100 users to about 25,000 users in less than 2 years. And I think very quickly, Koii could accomplish a similar thing. We're really in this to make it easier for you and for everybody else who's using this network to accomplish what you want to do. And so if there's something we can do to make it easier for you, that's what we'd like to be building. So just let us know.
And I'd like to build on that just a little bit. Part of where we see Koii in 5 years, we can't even imagine the things that our community is going to, all of you and the community that hasn't gotten involved yet, what you are going to be able to create. We're building the platform for that, but the extent, the reaches of what will be on Koii, I can't even imagine it, because I know that it's so far beyond the scope of what we're thinking about right now.
And that being said, too, if anyone does want to get more involved in the community, join the brand ambassador program, or learn more, I'm going to drop my Discord name in the chat there. Feel free to reach out to me personally to learn a little more and to help grow the community. I know it was said at the start that engaging with us on social media and telling your friends is going to help grow and get Koii around the internet and get people involved. And that's a huge aspect to it. So the more we can get involved, the more we can get other people involved, that plays a huge part. And we'd love to help we'd love to get your help on that. So feel free to message me personally, learn more about the brand ambassador program, anything like that. My Discord's in the chat there.
Pratish, I see you're asking about how we're going to get more eyeballs on Koii. A lot of companies have tried this decentralized media thing. So there's been projects like Steemit over the years that have attempted and failed to launch decentralized media networks. And similarly, projects like Brave that have, while succeeding at having a web browser, have kind of failed at the attention economy. So what we have tried to do is to build something that solves most of the fundamental problems. So as one example, with the Finnie wallet, we'll soon be launching kind of universal attention tracking, which means that you can post a hashtag with the atomic ID of your NFT in it anywhere on the internet, and anybody with the Finnie wallet will contribute their attention points to you. And so this will be something that grows well beyond the bounds of the Koii website or any individual location where you would view this content. And in fact, should ultimately become a publishing framework that bridges multiple platforms and connects them all together. So we're less worried about driving traffic to, say, Koii.rocks or any particular portal, and more about enabling you to put your content wherever you want to, and then earn Koii tokens through those platforms. And this really comes down to, how do you as a content creator want to share your content, and how do you get other people to look at it yourself? So we'll build the tools. We're building galleries, for example, from the Finnie wallet. So you'll be able to publish all of your NFTs into one place, send them to your friends. We're even working on some homepage components so that you can set up a custom homepage that contains all of your friends' NFTs. So every time you open a new tab, you'll look at their NFTs and they'll get some points. There's lots of these kinds of options out there that we can do, but very open to suggestions there as well.
And yeah, we are looking for marketing partners, and like we have a few marketing partners. We're trying to do a bit of not simply just like ad spend or things like that, but also just like sponsorships of artists, amplifying people who are already doing their own marketing efforts. Again, it's like it's not about us as much as it's about amplifying the creators who find the platform valuable. So if you're a musician and you do a lot of work on a lot of different platforms and you're interested in Koii, and a part of the way that we are going to grow is by making sure that you are the one who's getting eyeballs on your stuff. So reach out to us on Discord, and like we'll be super happy to chat about that.
And on that note too, we can we'd be happy to feature you in our newsletters or in our social media as well, so you can get some eyeballs on your content. Because really, we're here to empower you with what you're doing. So if there's anything in our wheelhouse that's possible, we're happy to do that. I did notice one question in here about kind of staying private on Koii. Koii is not it's not a transparent network in the sense that you can see everything everybody does. That would be overwhelming. But really, the purpose of Koii, just like Bitcoin or other networks that are cryptographically secured, is that it is pseudonymous. So that means that you control it with your private key and your public wallet address, and you can assume a name like Daft Punk. If you wanted to call yourself Daft Punk, you could do that. And you wouldn't have to show anybody who you actually are. You could wear a mask like Daft Punk. And so there's really nothing that limits your privacy on this network. You can publish everything if you want to. You could use a Tor browser to anonymously actually push your content into the network so your IP address can't be traced. And ultimately, if you follow the necessary privacy steps, which we can actually publish some blog posts about that, which might make it easier, you could use Koii completely anonymously to publish any kind of content that you want, saying anything you want, and you can do that permanently and then still get paid for it, even though you're 100% anonymous. So that's really the power of this kind of network. Anna, I'm seeing a lot of conversation in the chat, but not a lot of questions still coming in. Should we do like just one last round for any kind of questions that anybody has left? And then I think after that, we can probably wrap up the question period. If anybody has remaining questions kind of around like how to actually do different tasks, we can answer those in the Discord as well. I'll drop a link to our Discord in here right now so that you guys can all join.
Somebody ask a technical question to Abel.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
We haven't introduced Abel yet.
We have not. Sorry, guys. Abel is our head of engineering here. He joined the project.
Hi, everyone.
When did you join? Like September? Or no, January.
January.
Abel found us through the Discord and has taken the reins and now runs our team of engineers, which is like 15 people globally. What was the question you saw, Colin?
exactly.
No, it was an open call for questions for Abel, just to put him on the hot seat a little bit. I thought it would be fun. But Abel, why don't you give us just a little bit of your background, because all of us got a chance to do a quick intro. Tell us a little bit about how you found the project and your skill set.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I am Abel. I'm head of technology at Koii. How I found Koii? I found Koii on Discord. I was looking a project to start on Ocean Protocol. Then I found Alex there, who was looking for someone to help him. Then we met there, started to discuss, and we started to build the nodes and the bundle and the protocol and stuff. So my background is I am based on Netherlands. Basically, I'm from Asia, but now currently I'm Netherlands. I work with the startups building a prototype, and I also work with Tech as blockchain consultant and developer. I've been working on Web3 like 2 years. So then I shift to build like decentralized application. Looks like Web2, but with a better infrastructure and stuff. So that's what we are doing on Koii, to build a tool for developers to build Web3 applications, but looks like Web2 applications. So yeah, that's basically it. So what's the question here?
I don't think we have any questions on the technical side.
There's a question here. There's a question here that I'll throw to Abel. Abel, who do you consider to be the competitors to Koii in the market?
Like the Finnie, that looks they have some potential frameworks and infrastructure, looks like a Koii, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, they're pretty new. I haven't met any developer test their tools and build on top of Finnie, but that looks has some potential to compete with Koii. But yeah, what we are doing on Koii is a bit different. So I don't think there is any competitor to Koii at this time, but you never know.
Nobody else has tried building on permanent storage like this yet. It's kind of, I don't know. All these people build blockchains. It's pretty hard to compete with a storage-based network.
Yeah, and the good thing at Koii is like I and Alex there, more we are working for developers. We both have like a solid technical team, so we always put developers first, and we have Kayla. She is like a creator and the arts thing, so she put the art first and put developers first. So yeah, that's good.
The other question that is in here is, how hard would it be to integrate our content with other networks like Theta? We've talked about a decent bit, but I don't know much about the Theta network. Can you talk a little bit about the bridges we're working on to Ethereum and other networks?
Yes. So currently we are working to, we have this atomic NFT on top of Arweave, and we register them on Koii to get a reward. So what we are doing is to lock them on our network on Arweave through the Koii bridge, then mint them on Ethereum, so they can be sold and bought there. So that's the whole idea, because the NFT on Ethereum, you have the smart contract and you have the metadata separate. But on our case, you have atomic NFT, you have transaction, as Kayla showed you on the previous presentation. So we try to bridge them to Ethereum, Avalanche, to other networks. So currently we are working how to bridge with Ethereum to make that more decentralized. Currently it's partially decentralized, so we are trying to make it decentralized instead of a central bridging system. Yeah, but we are still to try to figure out and working on that very hard.
Nice. On that note, I think we have actually run out of questions at this point. Thanks, Srikanth, for sharing the Atomic NFTs post in there. That's definitely very helpful. Also, I should say, if you guys have questions, our resources page on the Koii Network site, as well as our blog, are really good places to start. There's a lot of content in there that covers most of this stuff. But if you get stuck, you can also hit us up on Discord anytime, and we'll be happy to kind of answer more questions. We'll also be having these community calls every week or two going forward. This will also be the time when we discuss possible votes that'll be coming up in the DAO. So please stay tuned. It's a good way to kind of earn some free Koii tokens and also participate in the growth of our network and kind of designing these things as we go. Thank you all for joining us and for all of the great questions. It's been really awesome watching these coming in. As I've been sitting here trying to actually communicate and talk to the video camera, I keep getting distracted by the little scrolly wheel of all these people saying things, and it's really fantastic to see so much engagement. So we're really, really happy to be able to bring this to all of you, and thank you so much for the great work here. Please keep inviting more friends to the network and keep sharing this idea, because the more people join, that's how we make this happen. The technology is only the first step.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Just before we go, Al, did you want to select our door prize winner?
No, we have to do that randomly after the call, Anna.
After, okay.
We're going to put them all. We're going to put all of your names in a hat, and we're going to actually pull it out of a hat downstairs. I think my hat is somewhere in the room. I'm going to write them down, and we're going to pull them out.
We'll announce the winner shortly after.
I could do it live with a dice roll right now.
No,
To collect all the names, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
We have 14 questions in the question box, so I could roll a 1d14.
Oh, we could do a 1d14. Okay, I do a 1d14. Sure.
Although I think some of those people are ambassadors.
I think we'll be
Okay.
okay. Here's the question box doesn't have ambassadors in it. Let me just get a dice set up here. One dice, 14 sided. We're gonna roll it one time.
You want to share your screen before you roll?
Yeah, I'll make sure to make it nice and suspenseful. Get ready.
Roll.
Okay.
Here it comes.
We're not sponsored by Lucky Lottery numbers, promise. Stop.
Aha. 3. It looks like that will be
Ibrahim.
Great. It looks like you're going to get some Koii after all, man. You just need to send us your and we're going to help you through getting some Koii tokens and buying some Koii. We'll also send you an investor whitelist link there in case you want to get on that.
Right. Okay. Well,
hopefully he is still online. If he's not, Anna, I guess we'll figure out how to get in touch with him after the call.
Yeah. If not, we'll re-roll the dice, and don't worry about that. We can just we'll just re-roll another one and allocate.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get it, guys, someone else will. So stay tuned. There might still be a chance for you yet.
We should have everybody's emails from when they registered, I assume.
We would hope so.
All right.
Well, on that note, folks, thank you so much. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Great to see you here.
See you.
Bye, guys.